right, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Mic check, mic check. Tonight is a red light night. You already know the deal? For 2025, either a red light or a green light night. Tonight we're doing red light. We've got a lot to discuss. Hey, good evening, A-Team. Good to see you. All right. A little background music. All right, everybody. This evening we got a lot to cover, so I'm not going to do a big intro. What we've got is first and foremost, a little positive. We're going to start off with something a little positive, okay? CBS Mornings did a special about a second grade math teacher, 63-year-old gentleman, who is doing some great things, and he's a great image. Your boy Culture's only getting older. I'm thinking an image like this, brother, might be something I'm looking at. We'll talk. Second up, we got Messy Michon this evening. We're going to talk about the black folks. We're going to talk about the black folks because it's going to segue into the main show this evening, which is Brooklyn St. Michael. He is a former Hebrew Israelite, reformed, for lack of a better word. But the man comes with a vast knowledge of history, especially black history. The book we're going to be looking at this evening that he dissects down one small section of is Black Bourgeoisie. If you haven't heard of it, we'll talk about it here in just a second. Want to welcome you to the show. Let's go. Yeah. All right, sakafet, salutations and greetings to all my beautiful people from all corners of the world. What's up, y'all? How you doing? A-Team on deck. Glad to see you, sis. So this evening, as mentioned, we've got 3 things that we are going to discuss, react to. A little positivity in the beginning, then we're going to just take a slippery slope right down into culture and talk about the black community. I'm sick and tired of the shit that I'm seeing. I'm just going to put it out there. All right. This channel's not monetized, so we going out like soldiers for 2024. Believe that. Everywhere I look, from touching grass to the YouTube streets, it's an embarrassment. It's a disappointment. I can name off 30 people right now. Won't dox them, but I could name off 30 people right now, family included, that have fucked away their entire lives. It's an embarrassment. And there are plenty of examples. You don't have to go looking for them. These examples are right here in our backyards, in our families. We know who these people are, and we have been oh so hesitant to call them out on their bullshit, which I also find disturbing. There's only a select few of us that are actually bold enough to stand on our squares, open our mouths, and object to this bullshit. This behavior problem, it's constant. People offended by everything, ashamed of nothing, entitled to everything, contribute nothing at all. But before we go down this slippery slope, give me 1 second here. Black Bourgeoisie. This is the book that we will be covering here in section 3 of the podcast this evening. Give me 1 second here. Let me turn the music down just a little bit. When it was first published in 1957, E. Franklin Frazier's book, Black Bourgeoisie, was simultaneously reviled and revered. revered for its skillful dissection of one of America's most complex communities, reviled for daring to cast a critical eye on a section of Black society that had achieved the trappings of a white bourgeoisie ideal, so-called ideal. So the author traces the evolution of this enigmatic class from the segregated South to the post-war boom in the integrated North, showing how, along the road to what seemed like prosperity and progress, middle-class Blacks actually lost their roots to the traditional Black world, while never achieving acknowledgement from the white sector. The result, concluded Fraser, is an anomalous meaning inconsistent deviation from what is normal, bourgeois class, an anomalous bourgeois class with no identity, built on self-sustaining myths of Black business, so-called Black business and society, silently undermined by a collective debilitating inferiority complex. The whole keeping up with the Joneses, gotta have the newest, best, greatest, the new pair of Jordans. That sounds familiar, I'm sure, to many. So, before we dive into what Messi has to say about society today, and I struggled to find, I had a couple different reactions that I wanted to do of what Messi's got out there, but I found one from yesterday, hot off the presses. She pretty much sums up this new Black bourgeoisie and their behaviors of late, extending from before the election, running up through the election, and then just social issues as they come about. Crime, for instance, which we'll cover tonight. All right, so let's go here. 1 second. All right, first up, we got a special from CBS Mornings. Something a little positive. Start out on a lighter note. Let y'all into the drama easy. Hey, Janesta. How you doing, sis? It's good to see you out there. Got you, and I got A-Team in the crowd. Thank you for joining me this evening. Tonight, sis, we are going to be talking about the book Black Bourgeoisie, and we're doing some reaction, to Messi Michon, but we're going to start off light here with a gentleman who's an exemplar sample of an elder statesman. So let's get into it.
In our series, Never Too Late, we bring you stories that inspire you and remind you there's always time to pursue your dream.
And CBS Mornings, back up off me. Fair use. All right, we're going to be talking about the gentleman here. Let a brother have some educational time.
LL Cool J says, dreams don't have a deadline. We agree. Tonight, we introduce you to a second-grade math teacher who changes his focus after the last bell of the day. You could say he's become a style influencer on social media after a photo went viral back in 2016.
CDT, what's up, brother? Glad to see you, man. Glad to see you. Thank you very much for stopping through.
You could even say, too bad Nate isn't here because he's giving Nate a run for his money. Janet Shamlian has the story.
By day, Irvin Randall is a second-grade math teacher in Houston. A grandfather married almost 4 decades.
40 years married.
But after school, you can often find him here.
Look sideways. Boom. Nice.
Oh,
Do that one more
whoa.
time.
Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. What happened here? Technical difficulties are always fun. All right, there we go. Back it up for you. Sorry about that. I honestly stayed up for this. I'm usually in the bed at this time during the week. Yeah, brother. I you know what? Finding a sweet spot for my personal schedule is a difficult one, especially when I want to do these shows and not just gaming, which I can pop up at any time. So I'm working on it, bro. I'm working on catching everybody as best I can. I know a lot of people are on Team Replay. And if you are Team Replay, I really appreciate you. Hit the like, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon right next to the subscribe. That'll let you know when I'm going live. I appreciate y'all. All right. So sorry about the screen wasn't up before, y'all. So let's go. We're talking about our 63-year-old brother. Let's go.
Inspire you and remind you there's always time to pursue your dream. LL Cool J says, dreams don't have a deadline. We agree. Tonight, we introduce you to a second-grade math teacher who changes his focus after the last bell of the day. You could say he's become a style influencer on social media after a photo went viral back in 2016. You could even say, too bad Nate isn't here because he's giving Nate a run for his money. Janet Shamlian has the story.
By day, Irvin Randall is a second-grade math teacher in Houston. A grandfather
Shout
married
out,
almost
Grandpa.
4 decades.
Irvin.
But after school, you can often find him here.
Look sideways. Boom.
Now, Janessa, I don't need you to be going crazy in the chat. Settle down, ma'am. Settle down. I know the gentleman is dapper, but settle down.
Nice. Do that one more time.
On the city's downtown streets, followed by a camera, dressed to the nines, and looking like a 10.
I've been dressing like this all my life. This is nothing new.
So you started taking pictures of yourself because you thought, man, I'm a good dresser?
Yes, I just wanted to show everybody how I dress, yes.
20 or 30 likes became 1,000 per post, and then 30,000.
How many followers?
Grandpa's
Instagram
doing
is
things.
about 1.1 million.
TikTok?
TikTok is about 1.7 million.
Twitter?
I have a Twitter, but I don't know how to tweet, so.
But the 63-year-old does know how to turn it on for the camera.
Something in me turns on, and I have a swagger in me that comes out like a beast.
People are attracted to that confidence.
That confidence that
13 years, ladies. Watch. 13 years. Stay tuned.
I turn on when I'm in the streets. This is all mine.
He's also a skilled shopper.
This is my closet.
Does your wife have a closet?
Yeah, but it's not like this.
Randall's side hustle, he earns money from brands for wearing their products, allows him to indulge his love of clothes, shoes, and especially hats.
What is with the hats?
Bro style is impeccable. Bro style is impeccable. I've been thinking about looking at the brothers for some style advice on some gear. But this dude, I may have to go follow this brother, man. I may have to go follow him. The style
I
is
think it
impeccable.
just dignifies a man. It shows that you're a gentleman.
He's got almost 100.
Do you make more money from teaching second grade in Houston, Texas, or from social media?
Social media.
Yeah.
By a factor of?
Oh my God, if I told you, you'll fall out, so I'm not gonna tell you.
Randall has spread that wealth with a group of equally stylish men. They call themselves the Silver Fox Squad. And they make
Yo!
appearances at charity events.
Time
like
out!
fashion shows.
Yo! Hold on. Is this my people? Hold on. I did not watch this, y'all. Honest to God. Yo, what is good?
Of equally stylish men. They call themselves the Silver.
Now settle down, ladies. But yo, look at these cats. No Diddy. You know, no homo, all that. Brothers, look at Sharp. Like you know what I'm saying? Brothers look at Sharp.
Fox Squad. And they make
I
appearances
think they got
at
a few.
charity events.
I think I seen a few Chads in there too. Was that a Chad or a light skin? Fourth dude in. That's a Chad. Yeah, and second from the right. Yeah, they got some
And they make
Chads in there
appearances
too.
At charity events like fashion shows. It's not the only group he's voting,
Yo,
keenly aware
run
of
it.
and embracing, being a role model for his kids.
They do watch me carefully.
Of course they
watch
do.
Me. Hey, Mr. Randall, are those some new tennis shoes you got on?
Do
You
they?
know,
Of course they
Is
do.
that a new watch? I like that watch. You know, and you're supposed to be watching me teach you something, but you're watching other things. So they watch me very carefully.
So are many younger people. His social media followers are mostly in their 20s and 30s.
3, 2, 1, and go for it.
If looks could kill, Irvin Randall's second act
That's a wrap.
might just be illegal.
How you feel?
I feel good. You feel good?
Man of the hour. In any
I feel
weather.
good.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Janet Shamlian in Houston.
Oh, I'm
All right. Shout out Houston, and shout out Herb, bro. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we need to find this gentleman. Okay, so CBS is only plugging themselves on here, of course. They never plug the person they interview. We gonna have to find Grandpa, y'all. All right. Your boy's gonna be looking for a little style coach here. I got 13 years to catch up to him. Now my closet isn't shy at all. I do have some nice gear, some nice suits and blah yada yada yada, but excuse me, own my own tux, patent leathers, the whole bit. But the thing is, I lost a bunch of weight, so I gotta go get new sport coats, new jackets. It's an opportune time for me to rebuild my wardrobe. So I wanted to share a little bit of positivity with you guys before we get into the drama. As always, over here on Culture Invasion, and you've heard other content creators say the same damn thing. If it don't apply, let it fly. So don't come here and come in my comments feeling some kind of way if you don't like what's being said by either myself or the people who I react to. So that's on you. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Grandpa. Good Lord. He's doing his damn thing. Just out here going crazy, sweating it up in the chat. The chat is new to the group. All right, y'all. So Messi, as always, if you do not know who Messi Michon is, I highly suggest you go check her out. Big sis has been around these YouTube streets, and I do believe it's her anniversary. So she did say that she has been on here, I do believe, for 3 years now. Salute to her. Shout out to her. Because let me tell you what, we are up to 36.8 thousand subscribers. And I think she just turned 30,000 subscribers within the last few months or so. So yes, definitely shout out to Messi. All I'm gonna say is if you like it real, if you like it raw, you like it real, and anything about society, you're gonna get it over there. Right? The same way as you're going to get it over here. I got my own nuance, and I've always got the little bit of the psychology of it and philosophy behind it, because my mind is always running on these topics anyway. So I put all my ideas down, and then I got this whole thing that I'm running through with y'all. I'm here to figure this all out. But I tell you what, when it comes to the plain and simple truth, Messi don't fuck around. Go check out Messi. All right. So this is hot off the presses, ladies and gentlemen. This is hot off the presses. She dropped this yesterday evening. 24 hours new. What we're gonna do is we're gonna skip around a little bit. Her first section here, she's covering Black Lives Matter and their lack of realism. So we're gonna get into it here. I am gonna quarter and a half. Yeah, 1.25. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna speed it up to 1.25.
Hey, no crazy openings. This is like sore subjects we talking about. Shout out to the white people who are new. Shout out to Reacts over there. I don't see Decline Management yet. I'm sure he will be here. We are early, yes. I like this 5 o'clock. I happen to be working from home, so it works out. Tomorrow back to 6.
Shout out to the home workers.
And I might do Friday because I got to go see my dad this weekend. So I might have to give Friday up. I got a long ride ahead of me. I'm still figuring that out. I'll let you know as soon as I know. Anyway, all right. So we got to talk about Daniel, Luigi, and Black Lives Matter.
Lord of mercy.
And of course, crime is down. You know, I got some crime is down for you, child, because you already know. They already saying the same mess over and over and over again. But white people do it too. Child, we got That'll be the female version. Shout out to Manzette. That will be the female version. Luigi. I promise you, okay? 9 months from now, let's see what it's going to be.
One thing y'all need to know is that is the best chat on YouTube. They cut up over there. We are some clowns. We are some clowns. Shout out to the besties.
I don't care. That's how I like to say it. So anyway, so we got some things we got to take a look at today. Let me go ahead and acknowledge those. I see y'all in here. I see you. I appreciate you. Shout out to our girl for super chat as always.
Almanize, shout out.
Taco Tuesday. Yes, it's Tuesday already. Y'all. It's almost hump day. It's almost what people Wednesday. Hopefully we got something to talk about tomorrow. Shout out to Dr. G. Thank you so much for being here on time. Always good to see you. Thank you so much for your support.
She loves her
All right, let's start here.
audience, as we all should. They support her so well. And while you're here, please support me. Hit the like. Hit the like, subscribe if you are new. Hit the little bell.
Roddy will calm you.
Hit the little bell right next to the subscribe button, y'all. Hit the little bell. That lets you know when I'm going live over here. I don't have a set schedule, so.
Down as well.
All right. So here we go. We're going to get into it now. We're going to talk about a little bit of crime here, right? This is all about culture tonight. The black culture. We got problems. We got a lot of hypocrisy. We got a lack of accountability. We got problems. When we get into the historical piece here, we're going to examine where some of those behaviors come from and the line of bullshit that, well, we, not us necessarily, but black folks have been feeding themselves. Like, it's just bullshit. Booker T. Washington had said it at one point, and we're going to look at it again tonight from the perspective of E. Franklin Frazier. So,
co-host, okay? All right, well, they are co-hosts together. Let me not say it's one more than the other.
Yeah,
right?
and shout out to Full Drinking Half Thinking. Go subscribe to him as well. I'll pull up his page and drop it in the chat. He's a new brother. I just subscribed to him the other night. He got about 600 or so subs. Go over there, check him out. I get a little lit over here. Messy is way, way, way more lit than I am. And then Full Drinking is a little bit more subdued. The brother's from Trinidad, so shout out to the Caribbean. So yes, he's a brother from the same neighborhood. Yeah. So I'll pop his information I'll pop his link in the chat. Go check him out. All right, I'm gonna let Messy cook.
EST, y'all. Oh yeah,
fair use, Messy. Don't strike me.
We'll be done. All right, let's start here. All right, because remember, Black Lives Matters is out here. Black Lives Mattering.
Yeah.
In the name of Jordan Neely. Rest in peace to Jordan Neely. All right. And they're saying it's all racist, because, you know, everything is racist. Oh, and by the way, let me see. What did this last person say about me? That I love master.
And listen to this. And I've had statements like this made in my comments, and I deleted them back in the day. Well, not back in the day. Well, over the past year or so, when I see these kind of statements pop up, and I always delete them and shit, like, you know, whatever. Look, I'm a son of a tether. I'm a half-breed. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. I've already heard it my whole life. Light skin jokes, they're great. Great. CDT, I'll be looking for them jokes.
I love massa.
There's a lovely, sad...
Look at this clip, y'all.
Huh? Are you all right? Because here's a song I wrote. We gonna be all right. Mama, is Massa gonna sell us tomorrow? Yes. If we stand as the people, we're gonna be all right. Yes. Mama, is Massa gonna sell us tomorrow? Right. Yes. If we rise, is Massa gonna sell me tomorrow?
Going, you're being a racist.
Lord have mercy.
All right, so down here in Texas, because I love massa now, y'all. That's what the latest thing is. Okay.
Right.
Shout out to those that was on the pinned post or pinned comment. I appreciate y'all. 80-year-old Texas veteran dies after brutal attack over a parking spot outside the grocery store. Well, clearly they were not in Baltimore. Rest in peace to this man. Salute to our veterans.
Yeah, clearly they were not in Baltimore because, as we all know, Baltimore, they got food deserts all over the fucking place. So,
veterans, let's hear what happened.
A Houston military veteran has died after a brutal attack outside of a grocery store. Investigators first thought 80-year-old Earl Hollins was the victim of a robbery, but soon realized the attack was over a parking spot. Alex Bozarin reports.
Because what he done, it wasn't right. It wasn't human.
Just after noon on Friday, 80-year-old Earl Hollins
dad was good
and left unconscious.
80-year-old Earl, rest in peace, Mr. Earl,
Thank
just
you,
found
sis.
him beaten down in the parking lot. Okay. Now, what possibly could an 80-year-old have done that he gets beaten down and now he's deceased? And I just don't think I've heard from Black Lives Matter at all.
Conscious.
And that's the point here. Let's talk about that for a second. What are we really looking at here as far as what we are fighting for as a community? Now, I don't. I'm sure a lot of y'all ain't out here fighting for nothing but what's in your wallet. Shout out Capital One. I'm sure that's what most of us are. I'm sure most of us are decent human beings that can navigate the world without having to worry about the oppressor, without having to worry about violence, unless, of course, it's from someone that looks like us. So what are we really talking about here with Black Lives Matter? What are we really doing? Are we talking about building big global logistics businesses run by, owned by, and operated by Black people? Are we talking about gigantic shipping conglomerates run by, owned by, and operated by Black people? Are we talking about local jurisdictions that are ran by Black people who are functional adults and not all about the fuckery? I said it before. Let me show you on my fucking community wall here. I said this shit before. I'm sure I pissed some people off. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to shit like when you look at history and you dissect the Black experience, somebody explain to me how all of these Black leaders are just running scams, failing, the Fannies, the Tiffanys, all the diversity hires, all the Democratic states in 2024. I bet you, based on pattern recognition, 1921 Tulsa wasn't shit but an insurance scam. It wasn't shit but an insurance scam. History's written by the winners, right? The winners want you to feel sorry for some shit that wasn't real. Wasn't shit, but them niggas didn't know what the fuck they was doing. Look at today. They didn't know what the fuck they was doing. You can miss me with that shit.
Investigators say
It's part sarcasm, part 100% from my fucking heart.
the attack happened in the parking lot of Food Town on FM 1960. It was later determined Hollins and the 57-year-old suspect, Anthony Boyce, were somewhat acquainted.
Someone was saying that he knew the guy because they always be around, meet up at around Food Town.
According to investigators, Boyce and Hollins' disagreement was about a simple parking space. Boyce allegedly attacked Hollins.
Right.
Looking a little niggerish to me.
Say it, Missy. Say it.
He looking a little colored to me.
Say
Where's
it.
Black Lives Matter? That's 2 blacks, 1 deceased and 1 that did it. Where they at? Where they at? Bueller, yes, I'm
And you know, people out there, not y'all, but people out there, shout out to Messi again, but people out there can say whatever the fuck you want about the way that we, content creators, bring this shit to light, right? And she's going to talk about it. She don't go looking for the shit. It pops up in her algorithm. I don't go looking for the shit, again, because, well, she pops up and my motherfucking local news pops up in my algorithm. Every single fucking day. Oh, it's the narrative. It's the narrative. Really? Again, you show me what we're really fighting for. You show me how we've evolved. It's ridiculous.
starting already. Bueller, anybody? Black Lives Matter? That crazy lady from yesterday? The one we about to talk about? Where they at? Where's Al, Sean, Clown Al, Ricky, all those people?
Right. And she's referring to D.L. Hewley. She's referring to Roland Martin. These people ran, they dick suckers, all during the Kamala campaign about your blackness. To vote for that woman, so-called black woman, to vote for that woman, then want to turn around and talk shit about you because the woman doesn't win, but at the same time are still preaching this blackness. Where is your fucking concern for these blacks, so-called blacks. Where is it? I'm going to let Messi cook. I can get my 2 cents in too. Where the fuck is it? I'm going to tell you where it is. It's lost in ignorance. And we're going to talk about it when we get to the book review here. And it's the book react here in a minute.
Oh, and this is under...
It's historical. It's historical. And it ain't got shit to do with racism and white folks. Other than the events that played out in history, it ain't got shit to do with them.
Biden's administration, because I'm pretty sure somehow, some way they can put this over to Donald damn Trump, of course, right? And these two people knew each other. They were, I'll say, just acquaintances.
Mm-hmm.
These two were acquaintances, and then somebody gonna say that I'm somebody's master, or I'm beholden to the master, which clearly she means the white man. Is that what I am? Is that what I am? Because
right.
You niggas don't give a fuck about niggas. I don't care what you say.
When you go outside, who are you afraid of more? No, just in general, who are you afraid of?
Who got that lady from
people that look like you
yesterday talking that sugar honey iced tea about Jordan Neely? This again, rest in peace to Jordan Neely, talking about the damn jury is racist because the what's his name didn't get convicted. Daniel. But they ain't got shit to say about this shit. How many stories do we see like this? I didn't go look for this story. This story was in my fucking feed. I do not have to go look for these stories because they come up in my fucking feed. So if they come up in my feed and she is in, I forget where she is. I think it's New York, I guess. So she don't see all the New Yorks that we see. So if you in New York and I don't live nowhere near Texas, how come I can find all these things and she can't? So you telling me all this time she ain't had nothing to do. She had to wait for, till Daniel, what's his name, didn't get convicted in order for her to come out here and start and talk this Black Lives Matter shit, right?
Right.
Does that sound about right? Does that make any black sense? You coloreds be coloring. You call me all the names that you fucking want to. Your hypocrisy shows.
Absolutely.
Especially when you Black Lives Mattering it up only when there's a white person. Only. You ain't doing nothing about that food desert and bulk to damn more. You ain't doing nothing about the housing fucking crisis disproportionately affected by black people. You ain't doing shit to help none of these black people as far as the migrants are concerned in your damn Chicago.
Facts.
But then you got the NAA damn C.I.P talking about don't come to fucking Florida because people are racist, but their asses ain't moved yet. I don't know. Let me rephrase. I know who you fooling. You can fool some of the idiots some of the time, but what you're not going to do is fool me with this bullshit. So you can say that I'm beholden to master all you want to. I care more. Not this nigga. Hold on. I care more about Earl, just like I do the man that daggone that them little bastard ass gremlins took out that older man in Philadelphia 2 years ago. I care more about the man, the black man down there that took out that 13-year-old gremlin down in D-damn-C. I care more about motherfucking black people than you motherfuckers ever will have or shall be. So you can kiss my ass with your fucking fucked up comments talking about I love master my ass, bitch, because I know you listening. I know you here because you over here still commenting, trying to tell me if I don't care why I'm commenting. Bitch, you the one giving me engagement. I'm going to take it all motherfucking day.
Facts. Goddamn. Damn, Messi. Damn it. But yeah, absolutely.
All fucking day. You the one that don't know what the hell to do or what you doing. You over here unsubscribed, commenting and shit, talking about me. It's my motherfucking channel, bitch. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Facts.
You be holding to master my ass. That's the answer to it all. Until y'all start doing something about shit like this, you can miss me with all that. Because I don't give a fuck.
Period.
Beaten down and left unconscious. Investigators say the
Period. And fuck your liberal tears. Fuck these lax-ass laws. If you're not going to fix the recidivism rate, and you're not going to work on the prisoners and the plans to rehab them properly, like other nations do, America hates that shit. Y'all motherfuckers hate that shit. I could bring up Sweden and the Netherlands and shit, and the way that their gun laws are constructed, the way that their shit's laid out. We could borrow from other motherfucking nations, y'all. It doesn't have to be exactly the same way, but we can learn a thing or two. Fuck.
attack happened in the parking lot of Food Town on FM 1960.
Y'all are happy with this shit. America's happy with it. I know y'all are a bunch of lazy motherfuckers, and especially the ones that look like me. I know y'all are lazy as fuck. But yeah, America's happy. America likes it. America likes it this way. I'm convinced.
It was later determined Hollins and the 57-year-old suspect, Anthony Boyce, were somewhat acquainted.
Someone was saying that he knew the guy, that they always be around, meet up at around Food Town.
According to investigators, Boyce and Hollins' disagreement was about a simple parking space. Boyce allegedly attacked Hollins and then took off in his truck.
And I said, my God, a parking spot?
And then stole the man's truck.
Dude injured my uncle, and finally he's dead, and you did all of this because of a parking spot?
Alma Hollins Washington says her uncle was brain dead, and last night the family decided to remove him from life support.
Where you at, Black Lives Matter? Where you at, Clown L? Where you at, Roly Roll? You most certainly Joy Reid, y'all all on every fucking move that Donald damn Trump makes.
Facts.
Every fucking
Facts.
move that man makes.
Facts. These black fucking pundits, these fucking monkeys, these media monkeys want to fuck around and want to crawl all up and down fucking Trump's ass, but never want to talk or address the family problems, the community problems, or anything that has to do with blacks. I'm going to tell you why. Everybody kind of talks about the political flip. The Democrats were the Republicans and they flipped after slavery and blah, 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 and all that bullshit. Watch how the black community flipped.
And niggas, colors, darkies, blacks, African-American, BIPOCs, whatever the fuck you feel like being called, Ebonies, not near one of them ever talk about any of the things that we talk here. Nobody cares about this man being left brain dead by a nigga over a fucking parking spot, then stole his fucking car. All they doing is meeting up at the damn food town, and he can't control his damn self. Do you see any of them doing anything about what's going on with the food desert for 14 years in Baltimore?
14
Bueller?
years.
Anybody? Oh, okay. But they care about black people, and I don't. Okay.
You took something great from us, something that we would never get over.
Uncle Earl, as Hollins Washington likes to call him, was a father, a grandfather, and a military veteran. She says he was a straight shooter and had seen and done many things in life, often making him the most interesting person in the room.
Shit is sad.
He was one of a kind. I mean, to know him, you had to love him. I mean, he was an easygoing person. He was friendly.
Hollins, a person who led with love, according to family, lost his life in an act of such hate.
And then it's during the holiday time, too. It's hard. It is really hard.
Boyce is currently facing one charge of aggravated assault with serious bodily injury. However, that charge could be upgraded.
That charge better be upgraded, and that's why this alleged Black Lives Matter that allegedly cares about Black lives should be down there picketing here. They should be down here picketing for this. The man is deceased, and that nigga gets charged with assault.
But Mashawn, you know that's snitching. You know that's against community code. Why would we rally against one another? We should not say anything about that kind of stuff.
Somebody will be down.
That kind of, you know what? And that goes back to being a child, right? We don't ask to be born into this bullshit. There are mechanisms, entire adult mechanisms at play that are not to our benefit. Hustles, scams, the divorce rate, all the bullshit that adults do, and they bring us into this, not preparing us necessarily. In a lot of cases, we are not even prepared for the bullshit that they've barreled through life and left behind for the new legacy. And they don't want to do a goddamn thing to help us along the way. There is nothing. At all. Not from the blacks. The rest of us that are normal people, y'all, the rest of us know exactly what we have to do to survive, know exactly how to seek education, seek enlightenment, increase our knowledge, increase our spiritual our spirit. And our spiritual foundation, we know these things. But you've got this whole sector of society that don't know a goddamn thing and are just dropped into the middle of it.
Down there and say, not my baby. Yeah,
there we
even
go.
50 some odd years old.
There we go.
miss me with y'all's fake ass, you care about black people and you want to talk shit about me. Anyway, shout out to From the Black Couch. Thank you, honey. Said that message.
And it's these leaders, excuse me, it's these people that put themselves out there as being the voice of leadership. These D.L. Hewley types.
He rant deserves some love. Thank you so much, hon. Not where I thought I was going. Moving on, y'all. Moving on. We'll start here with my friend the.
Okay, so we're gonna take a look at a second thing here, a second react here that Messi pulled up.
Right-winged angel with a post from Instagram,
and they're going in on the Jordan Neely, Daniel case. So let's go.
He said that Jordan Neely, or whoever, not him, whoever this person is, Tiffany Cabin. Jordan Neely deserved better than the violence of being denied access to stable housing and healthcare and then dehumanized for it. Jordan Neely deserved better than the systems that allow for and justify extrajudicial white supremacist violence against black people. So then they added this context down here as part of a plea agreement with.
Now, mind you, how many times had Jordan Neely been in and out of the system and had assaulted a 60-some-odd-year-old woman and had caused all kinds of chaos and had gone to a treatment program and then left the treatment program after 13 days, still had family contact in the city.
Prosecutors after he punched a 67-year-old woman in the street in 2021, Jordan Neely was given free access to stable housing and healthcare.
I was just talking about it all. My bad, y'all.
Bronx. He abandoned
I'll let her cook.
the facility after 13 days.
Sitting right here on my screen. I'm gonna let Messi cook.
So why are they not talking about that? I'm not talking about this man now that he is not here, because I'm not saying that he should have died. I am not saying that.
Right.
I'm not saying that. But she seemingly, this Tiffany Cabin person, is trying to say, oh, it's the system of white supremacy that kept him from, because, you know, that's what people say. And when you say it about everything, just like when you say everything is racist and you don't look at facts and you don't.
I'm going to talk about this when we get to the privilege episode, because I'm going to close out the year 2024 with my my little Rants Against Society series. But how many programs do we need in America? How many programs do we really need? It's almost insulting the amount of taxes that are pulled out when you're single one. It's almost insulting. Like, to look at all the programs for babies, programs for school, programs for women with babies, programs for women, programs for women's education, programs for housing assistance, programs for housing for migrants assistance, programs for money for migrants, programs for money for single mothers, When are people going to start doing it for themselves?
Don't try to figure out what the hell is actually going on, then it becomes not as important because you apply it to everything. Remember when we were following Portland and all them people was out on the street, they lined in the streets, they got their, what is it? I don't know, whatever Homes is on Wheels called, whatever that shit is called, in their cars, in their shit, in their junk, and it's lined up everywhere, and it probably stinks and everything else. They came through and they said, we'll get you a place to stay. We'll get you into rehab. We'll help you out. And they said, yeah, nah, I'm good.
Absolutely.
Nah, I'm good. Thank you, Michael. It's an RV. Thank you.
Yep. They said, nope, I'm good.
I don't recall any of those people forcing them people to do anything. Because if someone doesn't want to do something, you really can't force them to do it. Or did I miss a meeting? Bueller?
Facts.
So if they didn't want to go to rehab, they don't have to go to rehab. So they would rather be out there getting their fix. Shout out to Kensington and Philly, even though it's allegedly cleaned up. You can't make them go, and no one could make Jordan stay.
Right.
So he clearly did have some issues, which we know, but you know, not everyone. Enough people want to ignore all that, just like they wanted to ignore it with George Floyd. And I don't know that situation. I'm just using that very briefly. I don't know that situation like that. All right. Okay. Cool. Right-wing angel, his cap.
Doesn't matter if she addresses it or not. We know exactly what the fuck it is. We know exactly what the fuck it is. Everybody turns the other cheek. You turn the other cheek on the uncle that be looking at little girls. You turn the other cheek on the motherfucker that you know's got the habit. You turn the other cheek on the dude that you know's got the weird twitch. that ain't get therapy and ain't get the pills he needed. I might be speaking for family. But anyway, it's not unique. It's not different. I'm not special. The people in my family aren't special, or friends of mine aren't special. There are just as many motherfuckers that I know that you know that we turn the motherfucking other cheek. Not necessarily y'all, but definitely the bulk of people. And we just accept it. Again, going back to the fact that we were children and nobody asked to fucking be here. Oh, why do I have to be warned as a child? You might not want to hang around that family member. They get touchy-feely. Why do I have to be known? Why does it have to be known? Instead of you as adults, instead of you as black people, taking accountability for the fact that that's a fuck boy and you don't need to be around them. And they definitely should not be a fucking integral part of the goddamn family. But see, niggas, they just keep turning the other cheek, just letting shit slide.
To give him credit, it was another W for community notes on X. So I guess over on Twitter, they fact check you over there, I guess. I don't know. I don't really go over there much. But let's go to the New York Post, because Piers Morgan had an opinion that he wrote out with regard to Daniel Penny and Brian Thompson, because obviously we know that these are the big stories going on right now, in addition to now Jay-Z. So Piers Morgan had this printed today. He said the less response to the Daniel Penny and Brian Thompson cases exposed their sick hypocrisy.
Absolutely.
It's somebody's hypocrisy for sure. Okay?
It's somebody's hypocrisy
the
for
Brian
sure.
Thompson man should not be deceased either. Rest in peace to that man.
Right.
And I'm not saying that because he's white, because I just said the same thing about Jordan Neely. Okay. So he says, I cheered when I heard that Marine veteran Daniel Penny had been found not guilty. And I felt shocked and saddened when I saw the footage of UHC Brian Thompson being executed in the middle of Manhattan. These two reactions would surely be the correct and appropriate ones for anyone with an ounce of fairness and humanity in their heart. We saw this from yesterday from that video. Penny risked his own safety on the crime-ravaged New York subway to prevent a dangerous, mentally ill homeless man with a lengthy rap sheet of violence from carrying out his
I haven't tried that.
threat to
I'm gonna check it out.
Delete someone. For 6 minutes, he kept the man, Jordan Neely, in a restrained chokehold as he waited for the police to arrive, alternating between applying pressure and not a tactic he'd learned in the military to subdue people. Why did Penny do this? Because he saw the frightened faces of nearby women and children and wanted to protect them. So let me pause for a second, because I'm not going to go much further because I don't want to show the picture, okay? Excuse me. How many times do we hear, no one protected me? No one protected me. Protect black women. And I only say that because that's what we hear all the time, right? So then it sounds like there was kids on here too. So women and kids was frightened.
Oh, you know what? I will go back to Messy in 1 second. Sorry, Messy. 1 pause. 1 minute. You know what? No news. I got a plugin on OBS called the OBS soundboard. So I've been using that. It's okay. It's all right. It gets a little applause.
They do something, you're wrong. Women over here acting like crazy people, they might be frightened. You don't do something, you're wrong.
Right.
Listen, crusty, dusty, musty, rusty, ashy ass bums. You can't do no right no matter what.
We can't.
In my opinion.
We can't.
That's all of y'all, not just the Negroes. You can't do right no matter what. Good, bad, or indifferent, there's little appreciation for anything, for many. That's why I don't bother. That's why I tell you I don't give a damn. Because I know at the end of the daggone day, these motherfuckers don't give a damn about me. Shout out.
Absolutely.
To take heed to the message. Scroll the fuck up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the other thing, and I don't remember if Messy calls this one out, but what about the case where the white lady was in the subway and she's walking along and scary black man bad comes after her or something, and white dude comes in and swoops in like Batman and pew pew deletes the bad guy, and then the lady goes, I know I was being attacked, but you didn't have to delete him. Boom. Fuck y'all. I won't ever step in. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell.
I don't care. You know what I care about? I care.
Y'all asked for this. Y'all asked for all these liberal laws and all this liberal bullshit and pandering and patting people on the head. Your life could be in danger and you could be physically being violated, and someone can delete the person, and then you go, well, you didn't have to delete. The fuck is wrong with you?
care about that man in the last story, Earl, Mr. Earl, that should still be here. I care about that man over in Philly at 3
Protect all women, but you don't have to delete him.
a.m. in the morning being taken out by y'all's gremlins under the age of 15 from 10 to 15. And then I care about Mr. Lewis down there in daggone DC, who has lost everything probably at this point because some gremlin wasn't being controlled by his good mammy.
Right.
Okay? So I'm not going to scroll down because I don't want to show that picture, but what I'm going to do is move on over to here, where Piers had a show. And it looks like he was getting to it with one of these people on here. His title is Why the F Are You Laughing? CEO Red Rum Arrest and Daniel Penny Not Guilty.
Of a civilian by a ruthless assassin would usually provoke outrage from everybody, no matter their politics. That's not what happened when this hooded man shot dead Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, which is the biggest health insurer in the United States. The assassin left behind 3 bullets scrawled with the words depose, deny, and defend. Reaction in some quarters has been almost celebratory.
I saw someone say this is like finding out about Robin Hood in the third.
That was kind of crazy. Messi was already playing it at like 1.5 fast. And then I was playing it at 1.5 fast. That shit went by real fast. So I just slowed it down to normal.
1800s. Like every new update that comes from this guy, I'm like, that's so sick.
Deny, depose, defend. If that isn't a loud, clear message to all these CEOs across the board of these health insurance companies, I don't know what is.
We feel like we're living parallel lives with the elite in our country.
When you see the entire internet left and right united around one thing, and that is celebrating, I hate to say it too, the death of a healthcare CEO, you have to ask why. And I don't think that has been discussed at all.
Well, we'll discuss that tonight because critics of this eyebrow-raising response to
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. You said I've been bear maced. That's insane.
the murder, cold-blooded execution, included Ben Shapiro this weekend, who said it's evidence that leftist revolutionary violence has now become mainstream. There was a notably different response on the left to the case of Daniel Penny, who was charged with manslaughter after the violent homeless man he restrained on the subway tragically died. Well, today, just before we came on air, Daniel Penny walked free from court, not guilty of either manslaughter or criminally negligent homicide. And in further breaking news, authorities say they're now questioning a man in central Pennsylvania who was found with a gun similar to the one used in the shooting of Brian Thompson. The man being held was also in possession.
So I'm not going to continue with this story because I think a lot of us have already gotten into it. Shout out to Messi. Thank you very much for the wonderful, wonderful coverage of this. But I'm not going to get into this because I want to stay on task. We can spiral down the racism rabbit hole or perceived racism rabbit hole here about the Daniel Penny case, but I want to stay on task, right? I want to talk about the behaviors and the deterioration of culture, this hypocrisy and the Black Lives Matter bullshit. We hit that another day in another podcast, maybe something next year. So again, shout out to Big Sis. Everybody go subscribe to Messi Michon if you haven't already. I know some of the besties are here tonight, and some of the besties come and visit, float in and out. I love you for being here. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. If you're new, again, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Yeah, we got besties. We got Theo's squad, Twin. We got people there's people from all corners of YouTube to stop through. I really appreciate y'all. I really, really do. All right, everybody. So. This is episode 180 of Brooklyn St. Michael's series, his podcast series. So again, he is a reformed, again, for lack of a better word, Hebrew Israelite. He has a very, very, very wide view of history, a very vast view of history. And he pulls receipts. And I think more of us need to explore. Shout out to my homeboy from Cleveland, my OG, Ron. He worked for the libraries. He's retired now. OG is doing his damn thing. I don't participate on the Facebook social media scene anymore, but my homeboy gets out there and he breaks down a lot of books. So, shout out to the brothers that actually participate and actually enrich themselves. So by all means, go subscribe to Brooklyn. And I highly suggest it. I think you'll learn a thing or two. And you can expect me to be doing additional reacts to his content here on my channel. So, all right, shout out to him. All right. And again, I am reading this. I had to get my copy back. I've got a copy coming from Amazon so I can finish reading it. But he's ahead of me in this, so I'm kind of cheating. Spoiler alerts for those of us that haven't gotten this far in the book. But this is a very riveting section that I'm sure caused part of the reviled feelings amongst blacks back in the 50s. Tough Titty said the kitty. Let's go.
Now, how is it that the members of the black community, such as the celebrities, actors, and the entertainers from the lowest rung of the ladder, came to be the most influential members to the black community?
Let's rewind that. How did the entertainers and actors... I'm going to pause for a second. Let me pause for a second. These folks.
Hello, monkeys. Dance for us, monkey.
Lousy, no good saying, monkey. Round and round the monkey goes.
I need no other gestures as long as you keep your word to me, monkey.
That's what I need. That's all I need from entertainers. That's all I need from sports figures. That's it. Every actor, every rapper, every R&B singer, every songstress, fuck it, every country music singer, every alternative rock star, every Madonna, every Courtney Love, every R.I.P. Kurt Cobain. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Hello, monkeys. Dance for us, monkey.
Lousy, no good saying, monkey. Round and round the monkey goes.
Facts. Frieza kept it real. Fuck that. Shut up. Y'all showed me as soon as D.L. Hughley went up against Janet Jackson during the fucking election, I was already done. I didn't need nothing from any sports figure. Oh, Sha'Carri Richardson lost the fucking Olympics. Fuck that fucking whore. Fuck the fucking Olympians. If you're not out there fucking running and doing what the fuck we want you, what you're fucking hired to do by the nation, you have no place. Shut the fuck up. I'm sick of it. By the way, fuck Sha'Carri Richardson. That's why St. Lucia won. Let's go. All right, so let's get back to Brooklyn. Let's talk about how these pieces of shit fucking celebrities are taking over. These fucking twerk queens, these loudmouth asses. We see the downfalls coming. The Diddy's, the Jay-Z's, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because YouTube been crawling up my motherfucking ass. Allegedly. Harvey Weinstein, allegedly. Epstein, allegedly.
Now, how is it that the members of the black community, such as the celebrities, actors, and the entertainers from the lowest rung of the ladder...
Again, the lowest rung of the ladder of society. The dancing monkeys. The D.L. Hughleys. The Roland Martins. All them blackity McBlacks that have been in our fucking faces.
Came to be the most influential.
And no, I don't like them. Yes, culture has a fucking attitude right now.
Members to the black community. Why are they there? And what caused them to...
I've never found any value in almost any entertainer. You have to be a character of depth. You have to be a Harry Belafonte type motherfucker to be getting any kind of fucking respect from me out here. Fucking James Earl Jones level, nigga.
To get to that spot. The explanation comes from professor and sociologist Dr. E. Fraser Franklin in his 1950
shout out
book
E. Fraser
titled Black Bourgeoisie. And as we go through this explanation, I want you to listen very carefully because what we're going to go on is a journey. And in this journey, we're going to deal with some backstory on Black American culture, and all this is going to lead us to our final destination of answering this question. But I need you to go through the full journey in order to get the understanding. And so once you understand this history, then it'll no longer be a mystery. And so let's go here to page 113, where it says this: there have been only two really vital cultural traditions in the social history of the Negro in the United States. One being the genteel tradition of the small group of mulattoes who assimilated the morals and manners of the slave-holding aristocracy. So the first of the two notable black traditions was the genteel tradition, which placed high value on conventional family life, sexual purity, manners, education, and so forth. And this tradition...
Manners and education, sexual purity, family values. Watch what happens to all of those words when the culture flips. 1950s niggas.
Tradition was learned from the slave-holding aristocracy, or the nobility, or the elite, or the upper class slaveholders, right? And so this small group of mostly mulattoes took their culture from these people. And keep in mind that it says small, because most of the blacks didn't have this culture. So this was one of the cultures. Let's continue. And the other, the culture of the black folk who gave the world the spirituals, which is the culture which developed as an adaptation to the slave environment. The first small group had the mind of the slaveholder, and the second mass group had the mind of the slave. Right? Let's continue.
Right.
The genteel tradition, or the one that came from this aristocracy, flourished especially in such large communities of free mulattoes.
Hi, John. I'm on a cultural rant this evening, so excuse the content.
As those in Charleston, South Carolina, and New Orleans, Louisiana. It was maintained by those mulatto families that had acquired as part of their family traditions the patterns of behavior which were associated with the ideal of the Southern lady and Southern gentleman. Some families took pride in the fact that a mulatto ancestor could not be distinguished in his physical appearance, dress, manners, and speech from his white half-brother. And they had these thoughts because they had bought into the idea that the traditional European features were superior to all the others. And so, in other words, they believed this to be true. Let's continue. As a rule, these families formed a closed circle from which were excluded all who could not boast of similar ancestry and did not conform to the same standards of morals and manners.
All right. So that's a slap in the face right there, is it not? But I think he's got a point, and I think it's an absolutely valid observation. And I think we see the same shit today. You mean to tell me that after decades and decades and decades of choice, because let's not forget, it took time to get to the point where we're at now, where we have a program for anything you could possibly imagine, a la carte. But all this time, standards, morals, behaviors, family, not being sexually provocative, none of that was instilled.
They were exceedingly self-conscious of their culture, which consisted of the enjoyment of English and, in Louisiana, French classical literature and music. Sometimes they maintained literary societies in which they could enjoy and foster their culture. Many of these families migrated before the Civil War to the North, where they formed a small upper class that boasted of its genteel traditions. After the Civil War, the free mulatto class continued to hold itself aloof from the masses of freedmen.
So there was a schism. There were already the mulatto class was already established and was already fighting the good fight for brown people, for people of color. They were already established and integrated and working toward fighting for a better future.
The Civil War ended in 1865, and by that time, the masses of blacks were no longer legally enslaved. And the Negroes with the genteel culture, they were trying to distance themselves from the masses because at that point they were culturally different people. Let's continue. In Louisiana, the hostility of some members of this class to the newly emancipated blacks was so great that they opposed giving political rights to the freedmen. But generally, the free mulatto class and its descendants assumed as far as possible positions of leadership among the Negro masses. They did not break down the traditional barriers to easy social intercourse and marriage. Even in their religious affiliations, the descendants of the free mulattoes held aloof from the Negro masses. They generally affiliated with the Episcopal, Congregational, Presbyterian, and Catholic churches, while the Negro masses, as we have seen, were affiliated with the Baptist and Methodist churches.
Does that sound familiar? That sounds very familiar.
The descendants of the free mulattoes became, after the Civil War, the core of a small class which undertook to maintain the American pattern of family life and conventional sex mores.
Just keep watching and keep sticking with me through this and Brooklyn through this, because you're about to see some shit that's going to shock the shit out of you. The bougies are not the bougies that you think they really fucking are. The people that have attitudes that you call bougie are not the bougies that you really think they are.
So the offspring of this class looked to maintain the values that they had developed over the years. And this was one of the reasons that
These are not the D.L. Hugleys and the Roland Martins. No. These mulattoes were not them. Those are not their ancestors. No. This is not Sexy Red's family tree documentary. Nah. Ain't no little Kim in this history. I'll tell you when they come in the history.
Kept a distance from the Negro masses.
That part.
Because if they would have started mingling closely with the Negro masses, then their culture would have been compromised.
Uh-oh. If they had integrated with the Negro masses, then their culture would have been compromised. Oh, dear. Where are we today?
Were affiliated with the Baptist and Methodist churches. The descendants of the free mulattoes became, after the Civil War, the core of a small class which undertook to maintain the American pattern of family life and conventional sex mores. So the offspring of this class looked to maintain the values that they had developed.
I'm going to let him cook for 1 second.
Over the years. And this was one of the reasons that they kept a distance from the Negro masses. Because if they would have started mingling closely with the Negro masses, then their culture would have been compromised. Especially being that there were more in numbers coming from the Negro masses who were the carriers of the slave mindset. Let's continue. In some small communities in the South, a single family with this social and cultural background would live in complete isolation rather than associate with the masses of Negroes. And why was that? For the reason we just went over. In their quiet, obscure lives, they expressed often their contempt for the black upstarts who, in their view, and often in fact, possessed neither morals nor manners. And again, this is why they attempted to separate themselves from the Negro masses, who had a very different set of morals and manners. And this is how people have always separated themselves before the European colonizer came along and started lumping people into these very large groups, like black, white, Asian, and so forth, right?
There we
Groups
go.
that never initially agreed to be lumped in there together.
There you go. So there was already a division. Shout out to RBN Through the Fire podcast. We are not a monolith. Black folks have never been a monolith. Ever. One of the best examples is is experience through school, right? Because I come from a multicultural family. I come from a family that is integrated with both West Indian, Caribbean, as well as Black American, all the way to ADOS. All the way to ADOS. My grandmother was a descendant of slaves on my mother's side. Right off the fucking cotton field, Virginia. So I've seen the full spectrum of behaviors. I've seen the full spectrum of history. I've looked at it all. I've dissected it throughout my entire life to understand it, especially the foreign side.
Let's continue. The attitudes of those who came to terms with the successful members of the rising black masses was expressed by a young mulatto college student who was a descendant of a prominent free mulatto family.
Watch this.
When asked how she felt when a big, ill-mannered Negro male student addressed her rudely and tossed her about, replied, "Well, since I've got to live with these N-words, I might as well act like one." So now at this point, we have members of the Negro masses who were attending school with other members from the mulatto class, and there was conflict. The mulatto class was stuck with the Negro mass, and we can see the frustration coming from this student here. And I'm pretty sure the Negro masses didn't like them either, right? Let's continue.
Absolutely.
On the whole, the tradition of the gentleman has ceased to have influence on either the manners or morals of the Negro community. The tradition they had stopped having influence on the Negro community, and later on we're going to find out exactly why, because it ties into the main topic of this video. In the Negro colleges, it is futile for teachers to exhort the students to behave like ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus Christ. Have you all seen the videos of these teachers crying and these teachers pleading and these teachers talking about the way that these people act? These little gremlin ass monkeys that y'all are birthing? What has changed? Society, everything that we're going through is circular. Everything is circular. It's an Ouroboros. It's a snake eating its tail. It always has been.
Futile means pointless. And why was it futile or pointless to get the Negro students to behave like ladies and gentlemen? Because at this point, the Negro masses had begun to take over. And the culture that they carried was nothing like the genteel culture that some of the mulatto class had. So from here, let's understand some of the background coming from the Negro masses and the culture that they had developed. The folk culture of the American Negro developed out of his experiences on American soil. Whatever element of African culture might have survived enslavement became merged with the Negro's experience in the new environment and lost their original meaning.
Absolutely.
The Negro was made in America, right from the...
And that also goes into the fact that the Negro learned a lot from the poor whites as well, but you know, that's a different topic.
Language, the food, the thinking, the dancing, the songs, right? And even the physical makeup being a mixture of different people.
Yep.
And Dr. Frazier says that anything that survived that would have come from Africa was merged into this new environment.
Absolutely.
And it lost its original meaning, right? So a new culture and a new people were created from this.
That kind of goes back to React I did from Bo, the fifth column, where he talked about, you know, his Irish heritage and the fact that he can sing a song that is from Ireland and his baby will reply with the next verse from the song. Whereas here in America, tell me a song from Zimbabwe, tell me a song from any of the lands of your forefathers from that continent.
Completely different experience. Let's continue. From the beginning, the Negro had to learn the language of his masters, and there was no chance to preserve African languages except in some isolated areas, as for example, along the coast of South Carolina and Georgia and the neighboring islands. The character which the Negro family acquired under the system of slavery was due to the exigencies of servitude rather than surviving African patterns of behavior.
Right.
Exigencies meaning what was needed in
What
a
was
situation.
needed, yeah.
So the
Survival.
character of the Negro family, which
Survival.
included the woman heading the house, was needed.
Wait, the woman heading the house? Huh. I thought women were all oppressed and lived under men.
Character of the
I thought that was the whole thing, that women were living under men.
Negro family, which included the woman heading the house, was needed under the system of American slavery, and it was not something that was of African origin. In a situation where no legal recognition of family existed, the dominant position of the woman in the Negro family was due to the concession that had to be made to the needs of the children as well as to attachment of mothers to their offspring.
Sensible.
Even in the matter of religion,
Makes sense.
there are no evidences of African survivals as in the West Indies and in Brazil. Moreover, when the folk beliefs of the Negro are studied, it is difficult to disentangle the African elements from European folklore and practices and those folk beliefs which are a product of the American experience. The
Ah,
folk
curious.
culture of the Negro was associated with the church, which has been the most important institution in the rural communities of the South.
Shout out the church. Shout out the church. Keeping Negroes poor for hundreds and hundreds of years.
In fact, the community derived its name from the church, most often Baptist or Methodist, and the location of the membership of a particular church defined the limits of the communal.
Goddamn. Look at that. Even back then, first 2 rows of any black church, all women. First 2 rows. Preacher man with the pretty eyes. Preacher man with the pretty eyes. They're going to donate all their money. Preacher man.
Life. It has been in the church that the Negro has found a meaning for existence, and it was the church that enlisted his deepest loyalties. The church set up and defined the norms and moral conduct and provided the necessary discipline to enforce its rules and behavior. It was the church that the Negro spirituals or religious folk songs were born. So the
God, that kind of goes back to that clip Messi had where she had Queen Latifah and everybody else singing a Negro spiritual.
The church was the most important aspect of the Negro's life. And because it meant so much to them, they developed a deep emotional attachment to that institution, which still lingers today in many of the descendants of those people who make up the most religious group in America, right? These are the roots as to why the black Americans are the most religious, right? It's not because they found some truth or anything like that. It's because the church was the institution that was necessary for the people to get through the slave experience that they had, because it offered at least some level of hope, right?
Right.
Let's continue. In these religious folk songs, the Negro attempted to find his meaning for his existence and at the same time an escape from his tragic fate.
His tragic fate, or in the year 2024, his lack of acknowledgement or accountability for the bullshit actions that he has lived and allowed fester in his community. That's what you fuckers are repenting for these days. I ain't trying to get all red pill right now, but all I'm going to say is these newfound Christian women, y'all are falling out the woodwork right now, and y'all are the funniest, because it's not like we don't know what your history was. Again, what? Let's go back to that picture. First 2 rows of any black church, even back then, first 2 rows of any black church filled with women. Hot damn. All right, let's go.
It was the church that the Negro spirituals or religious folk songs were born. So the church was the most important aspect of the Negro's life. And because it meant so much to them, they developed a deep emotional attachment to that institution, which still lingers today in many of the descendants of those people who make up the most religious group in America, right? These are the roots as to why the black Americans are the most religious, right? It's not because they found some truth or anything like that.
Right.
It's because the church was the institution that was necessary for the people to get through the slave experience. That
Like what truth is you gonna find? Are you gonna find in the black church that the white folks ain't already found, or somebody else has found? Like what your doctrine is going to be just the doctrine that's going to give you all the answers. Fuck out of here.
they had, because it offered at least some level of hope, right? Let's continue. In these religious folk songs, the Negro attempted to find his meaning for his existence and at the same time an escape from his tragic fate. You see that? It gave them some form of escape from the miserable condition that they found themselves in. It was a tool that they used for that time and place to serve that purpose. Let's continue. The folk tradition of the Negro, like the gentile tradition, has been dissipated or transformed as the result of migration and urbanization.
Yes, and I wanted to get into the migration bit a little bit, the migration piece a little bit, because there's another content creator, and I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but she is a Redbone, and she goes into, you know, her own discovery of what that really meant, and history, Black history, and the migrations of the mulattoes and how her family fits into all that. Funny enough, in one of her videos, she mentioned last names of mulatto families, and boom, she just so happens that she said one of my ancestors' names. So yeah, I was going to go into that a little bit and talk about the migrations for another day. Maybe we'll deep dive into that a little bit next year. All right, I'm going to back it up a little
Of
bit.
escape from the miserable condition that they found themselves in. It was a tool that they used for that time and place to serve that purpose. Let's continue. The folk tradition of the Negro, like the gentile tradition, has been dissipated or transformed as the result of migration and urbanization. During their wanderings, the Negro folk have created the blues, which tell of their disillusionment and nostalgic yearning for the sympathy and understanding of the world of the folk which they have left.
Right.
The secular folk song of these black troubadours in American industrial society are living records of the reaction of the uprooted black folk in the world of the city. In the countless storefront churches of northern cities, the Negro migrant has vainly attempted to cling to the traditional religious life of the rural South, right? So some people just didn't want to give it up because it's comfortable for humans to do the same things that they're used to doing. And the church life of the rural South, it created this type of comforting effect in the people who moved into the city. Let's continue. But more often, with the loss of his simple faith in the world of the city, he has sought salvation in various religious cults, some with nationalistic aims, which are indicative of his groping to find an escape from the white man's world.
Wow.
As the result of contacts with the public school, the children of the folk have sloughed off the folk belief of their parents and learned the secular scientific techniques of survival in urban environment. Thus, instead of their old resignation towards the world, the Negro masses are acquiring a confidence in the efficacy of their effort through the use of the ballot and enjoining with fellows through the use of unions. So
Right.
that was some of the background on the two different traditional Negro cultures that developed here in America. They developed under completely different circumstances, right?
Absolutely.
And they served different purposes. Understand? So at this point, coming into the story, the Negro masses, they've moved from the South, the rural South, and they've moved into the city, a lot of them,
Yes.
where their culture and their mindset interacted with this newly discovered environment. And so they begin going to college, getting educated, making more money, and climbing up the economic ladder.
All right. Are y'all following? Where all the D.L. Hugleys, Roland Martins, shit talkers, and these non-producing Negroes come from. I get it. The jokes are funny. The movies are entertaining. Everybody knows everybody's sports records. I get it. It's circus and bread. You're nothing but a peasant, and that's what entertains you. But look at your history. These are the monkeys that you're following. These are the assholes that you're following.
Hello, monkeys. Dance for us, monkey.
All right, let's get back into it.
And with this new dynamic, this is where things get interesting, right? And so let's go in here to page 125.
Here they go, building themselves up by any means necessary, embracing this newfound city glory, doing what the white folks are doing, keeping up with the Joneses.
Where it says this: as the black bourgeoisie has grown in size and influence, during
Look who's become the black bourgeoisie. After they've gone to college, after they've gotten educated, right? We know what those college degrees are worth these days. But after they've done all that, this is where they've wound up. Where's that? Help me out, brother. Help me out. Hey, I used that picture. It was not back that far, was it really? Nope, because that's the old families. There's the music.
attempted to cling.
Yep, cling to the old spirituals.
They,
all right, we'll just let him play.
They developed under completely different circumstances, right? And they served different purposes. Understand? So at this point, coming into the story, the Negro masses,
okay, here we go.
They've moved from the South, the rural South, and they've moved into the cities, a lot of them, where their culture and their mindset interacted with this newly discovered environment. And so they begin going to college. Getting
there we go. So they go from here.
Educated, making more money and climbing up the economic ladder. And with this new dynamic, this is where things
buying
get
property,
right?
buying their
so
own vehicles.
Page 125, where it says this: as the black bourgeoisie has grown in size and influence, Durham has ceased to enjoy the distinction of being its capital. Durham, North Carolina, was known as the first capital of the black bourgeoisie. The Negro communities in Chicago and Detroit have both claimed to become the center of the black bourgeoisie. In either case, the shift of the capital of the black bourgeoisie from a small southern city to a northern metropolis is indicative of the change in the character and outlook of this class. Although the younger generation of Negro businessmen in Durham had acquired more thoroughly than the pioneers the psychology of modern business, they were still influenced by the older traditions that had grown up in the Negro community. And the older traditions are referring to the morals and the values that were inherited from that aristocracy class.
You can take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga.
Right? The one with the free mulattoes. This was the class of Negroes that developed their culture under the circumstance of being free. Right? They were the first class of Negroes that we discussed.
Right.
Let's continue. They still conformed to the tradition of the gentleman, which lingered and shaped their morals and manners.
Right.
They still...
The gentleman. But see, that's perceived as being whitewashed. That's perceived as being whitewashed and not hood.
Felt some identification with the Negro masses, despite the fact that their interest might be opposed to those of the masses. This was due partly to the fact that they, as well as the Negro masses, lived under a system of rigid racial segregation. And this small group was forced to remain separate from the rest of the whites, and they were forced to live amongst the Negro masses. Here we go. Moreover, they were more closely identified with the institution in the Negro communities, which were supported by the masses. On the other hand, the black bourgeoisie, which has become important in recent years, remember this is in the 1950s, has tended to break completely with the traditions of the Negro. And this black bourgeoisie is the blacks that came from the Negro masses, the ones who were the carriers of the slave mindset and the culture.
Absolutely.
Right? Remember, they began getting educated and
integrating
making money.
Yep.
And this mass element of people, they became the new black bourgeoisie, which...
And now we have the D.L. Hugleys and the Roland Martin. Well, ain't Roland Martin a tether? Shout out to the tethers. But you know what I'm saying?
Broke away from the traditions of the old black bourgeoisie. Let's continue. As the system of rigid racial segregation has broken down...
Like Kanye's family, Jay-Z's family, Beyonce's family.
The black bourgeoisie has lost much of its feeling of racial solidarity with the Negro masses. In the
every and any sports star that's out there, pretty much, unless they Puerto Rican.
Metropolitan areas of the North, where there are increasing opportunities for employment and earning money, social mobility, which means primarily the attainment of middle-class status, has become a question of the amount of money which one has to spend, right? Not how thrifty or how much money a person could save, but how much money a person could spend.
Does that sound familiar? We spend more money than anybody else. All we do is spend money. All y'all do is spend money. I save money personally. But that's it. It's all about the flash. It's all about the bag. Get the bag, get the bag, get the bag. Why? You retiring? You saving money in your 401k? Is that what we're talking about in the black community? Financial security? Financial intelligence? Is that what we're talking about? Is that why we get in the bag? Fucking niggas.
This was the mindset of this new black bourgeoisie, right? The ones who came with that
Still the
slave
mindset today, brother. Still the mindset today. Let's
When
go.
a French sociologist on a study tour in the United States saw the emergence of the black bourgeoisie in northern cities, he observed that they were really colored Babbitts.
And that's
Babbitts
all they are
means
today.
A materialistic professional or a materialistic business person.
I got 2 cars. I got a house. I got 2 houses. I got this. Hey, you get them new this, that, and the other. Oh, I got me a new Louis bag. I got me a this. Y'all piss me the fuck off. That's all y'all do. That's it. You know everybody's motherfucking sports stats, but you can't balance your goddamn checkbook or save for a fucking retirement. Or even navigate your way around a fucking computer so that you can make the bag.
A person who spends without thinking, right? That's how the French sociologist described this new black bourgeoisie.
And that's today. That's your niggas today.
Keep going. The break with traditional values is seen in the changes in the canons of respectability. Among the older upper class families in the Negro community who really stood for a middle class way of life, the canons of respectability required a stable family and conventional sex behavior. So to gain respect amongst the old Negro class that had money, the ones who stemmed from the free Negro tradition, a person was required.
Ooh, she pretty. This one back here in the back on the left, she pretty.
To have a stable family and practice conventional sex behaviors, meaning with a spouse, right? Here we go. On the other hand, among the new black bourgeoisie, these values are regarded as old-fashioned virtues, and there is much confusion in thinking and behaving with reference to these values. Who is the new black bourgeoisie again? They are the descendants of those with the slave mentality, the ones that came from the shackles and the chains and developed a culture coming out of the pit, right?
Yep. My grandparents on my mother's side.
People who developed a way of life.
Actually, so grandma was mulatto, of the mulatto side of shit because of her last name. So probably they had some people blended in with her family. And then grandpa was a mulatto. But he was mixed. I think he was mixed with a native. So
from the
I think his family was part native.
Environment, right? They didn't believe in those traditional morals and values that the old Negro bourgeoisie had, right?
They didn't give a shit about them.
As
They didn't care about the old bourgeoisie. And see, what's crazy is if you think about life now, people are starting to use that same kind of narrative. Oh, the old patriarchy, quote unquote. This was societal standards. Didn't have shit to do with the patriarchy. It was what the standards were in society.
Way of life from the slave environment, right? They didn't believe in those traditional morals and values that the old Negro bourgeoisie had, right? They labeled those as old-fashioned, right? So if that was old-fashioned...
We hear that. We hear that today. The old-fashioned patriarchal way of being married and all of this. We live in a new age. Baby mamas, baby mamas, baby mamas.
And what was considered the new trend... with
fucking slave-ass, nigga-ass mentality.
This new black bourgeoisie. Let's see. Divorces and scandals in family and sex behavior did not affect one's social status. Rather, the notoriety which one acquires in such cases adds to one's prestige.
Pause. God damn it. I wish Messi was in the fucking crowd right now. Messi, if you out there, sis, please leave a comment. Please leave a comment on this. Divorces and scandals in family and sex behaviors do not affect one's social status. That is the new black bourgeoisie. That is the slave mentality. Right here in your face in 4K, 1080p, depends on what you click at the bottom of the screen. Right here in your fucking face, folks. Right here in your motherfucking face. Rather, the notoriety which one acquires in such cases add to one's prestige. Y'all out here putting notches up. Y'all out here putting stars up for bad behavior. And it is a slave mentality. 1950s niggas. 1950s niggas. Babbitts.
You see that? A person having family issues and having sex with all type of people, this didn't present any problems, right? It didn't lower one.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's insane. It's been going on forever. Like I said, there were all these mechanisms in place before we even dropped on this motherfucking planet, y'all. And these black motherfuckers set up our society for fucking failure. Fuck 1921 Tulsa. That shit didn't exist.
YZ. Let's see.
You niggas is fake.
Divorces and scandals and family.
Y'all ain't shit.
And sex behavior did
Y'all
not
are
affect
fake.
one's social status.
This shit's really weird. It's weird that y'all have trauma bonded for this fucking long. These behaviors. Just fuck. That's basically it. Just fuck. I was talking to a homie the other day, white boy, granted, but you know, white guy. You know, and we talking about, you know, babies growing up and this, that, and the other, and our lives are moving fast and we getting older and this, that, and the other. And how about that person? That person, what about that baby? They got babies yet? And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, you just expected. They're in their 20s. Motherfucker ain't married yet. You just spewing shit. You just spewing social destruction. Just, yeah, all the bitches are pregnant in their 20s. The fuck? But that's what we set for ourselves here in America. We like it. We love this shit. We love the drama. We love the trauma bonding. We love fucking everybody. We've allowed the fucking weirdos to fuck whoever they want to fuck, flipped upside down and tucked inside and out. Let the mental fucking patients run the asylum as far as who's fucking what, talking about it at our goddamn jobs. Society's cooked. Society's cooked, but we talking about the niggas. So let's go.
New black bourgeoisie again? They are the descendants of those with the slave mentality, the ones that came from the shackles and the chains and developed a culture coming out of the pit, right? The people who developed a way of life from
That's funny. A culture out of the pit.
the slave environment.
I like that.
Right? They didn't believe in those traditional morals and values that the old Negro bourgeoisie had, right? They labeled those as old-fashioned, right? So if that was old-fashioned, then what was considered the new trend with this new black bourgeoisie? Let's see. Divorces and scandals in family and sex behavior did not affect one's social status. Rather, the notoriety which one acquires in such cases adds to one's prestige.
That's insane.
You see that? A person having family issues and having sex with all type of people, this didn't present any problems, right? It didn't lower one's status. In fact, it raised it up. And remember that this book was published in 1957. And so this gives a very important key in understanding how the blacks ended up with the dominant.
And 40 years later, 1990s, I'm in my 20s, or late teens, early 20s, and all I'm hearing from niggas is the same kind of shit. Fuck that bitch. Well, same thing from the bitches. Fuck them niggas. Niggas ain't shit. Nothing fucking changes. Everybody's a fucking whore. Bitches is pregnant in fucking high school. Nothing changes. And it's all status symbols. Whores today are fucking putting up fucking TikToks about being pregnant in fucking high school. Making viral moments out of the shit. Nothing's changed.
Dominant value system that most of them have today. Right?
H&M.
And it's a key to understanding your way while you're wandering on the path and trying to find your way. Right? Let's continue. The change in attitudes towards the old-fashioned bourgeoisie values is due largely to the fact that the new bourgeoisie is recruited from those elements in the Negro population among whom these virtues never existed, and that money has become the chief requirement for social acceptance.
Does that sound familiar? Is any of this resonating with any of y'all? All about getting the fucking bag. Everything's about the fucking bag now. I can't wait till TikTok gets shut down. I can't wait. Yeah. Social media, absolutely. Absolutely. Just like I said, I can't wait for fucking TikTok to get shut down. It's going to be a hit for some of us content creators that rely on that because that is just a fucking gold mine of people exposing themselves. But I can't wait. I can't wait for these people to be out of employment. Time to get a real job, bitch.
You see that? These values and morals were never learned in the slave environment and developed in the slave culture. It's not like humans naturally understand that they should have conventional sex standards, right? Humans, when they're left to their own
True.
devices, they naturally want to do just like other animals do. And that's
Yeah.
made with minimal restrictions.
Yeah, and that's what y'all are acting like. Fucking monkeys. Fucking animals. That's it. You're fucking monkeys. Your mental development is type 1. Fire, house, water, fuck. That's it. Fire so you can cook something, but God knows half y'all bitches don't cook shit because you can't stand Kaya. Cooking with Kaya is blowing the fuck up because y'all bitches is in your fifis because you don't cook. So you're not even a type 1 fucking caveman type dusty bitch. Or nigga for that matter. Because half you niggas can't do shit. You don't bathe. You don't bathe. You look dusty. You're not cute. Like, fuck, man. The shit's disgusting. Fire, house, water, fuck. And half y'all can't do that shit right. You can't put a roof over your fucking head or keep one. Pretty much just leaves food and fuck.
Understand, conventional sex behavior, that's a cultural approach that's designed to tame the animal instinct within the human, right? And it's
Oh, wait, say that again. You mean social guidelines tame animals? Social guidelines tame animals. Is putting animals and gremlin animals in jail a social guideline and keeping their fucking animal asses there? That's a unique thought. It's very unique. I'm sure there are some governments, some localities, municipalities somewhere across this nation that believe in harsh punishments for these animals. You niggas have not fucking evolved for shit. And you stand by and let these motherfuckers run roughshod over our community, over our culture. I don't give a fuck what you say about me being a motherfucking light-skinned tether, bitch. I grew up with you monkeys. Not y'all. You know which monkeys I'm talking about. You know which animal ass acting pieces of shit I'm talking about. Matter of fact, half of the content creators in Black YouTube are these fucking monkeys. One trick pony ass monkeys. Every time I turn on a goddamn fucking stream or I scroll through the fucking algorithm, it's monkeys talking about the same monkey ass type 1 mental capacity shit. No fucking hobbies. No fucking personal development. Nothing of any intrinsic fucking value at all. But that's what you niggas like. That's what you like. You pieces of shit. Here you go. Here you go. This is what you like right here.
Hello, monkeys. Dance for us, monkey.
Lousy, no good saying, monkey! Round and round the monkey goes.
I need no other gestures as long as you keep your word to me, monkey.
Just tee hee 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 tee hee hee. Culture, you being too serious. Tee hee 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 hee. You need to have some fun. That's all you fuckers do. Type 1. Type 1 brain waves. Low mental vibes. That's it. That's all you do.
Understand, conventional sex behavior, that's a cultural approach that's designed to tame the animal instinct within the human, right?
Nah, we got baby mama, baby mama, baby mama, baby mama. Fuck who you want. Free dating, freedom, pussy, all fucking everywhere. Giving the bitches of age between her 20s. I could fuck the 20-year-old bitch and her fucking 40-some-year-old mama. Guaranteed. Just pussy everywhere.
And it's something that has to be taught, conditioned, and also upheld through expectations of the people and of the community. And so this was not the culture of the slaves. And so when they were set free, their offspring came into the rest of the society with a particular set of values that shaped the way that they interacted with the new environment that they found themselves in. And so as certain members from this group began to earn more money, they began to reinforce their inherited values on the rest of the black community.
So now we have perceived value from monkey ass, strutting ass niggas that think they know what the fuck they're talking about. Oh, I got degrees. Oh, I'm this, that, and the other. Oh, I'm a divine 9. No shade. No shade. Respect to those that I know that are. But at the same time, look at your fucked up history. And again, we can go back to Black Lives Matter. What part of Black Lives fucking matter? Y'all don't give a fuck. Only when a white boy deletes a black man do you care.
Now watch this. Among the professional classes in the Negro community, actors and entertainers are relatively numerous and have the largest incomes. Uh-oh, here we go.
Here we go.
The actors and entertainers who very often have a lower class background in the social hierarchy of the Negro community.
Dumb ass, drug dealing ass, bottom of the barrel ass rappers, bro. Fuck hip hop. For a minute. For a minute. All from the hood and they brag about it. Every single one. Save for the fucking white boys and the ones that are fucking Drake types. We'll just put them in a fucking category. The Drake types. All bullshit, type 1, low mental vibe, bottom of the barrel. Why do you think the industry is such a hustle? Why do you think all these weird stories of grown men getting buck broke in the music industry and acting industry is coming about? Why? Why do you think that's happening? Because they're exploiting bottom of the barrel niggas. Because you're stupid. Because you don't bother to use the structures of society around you to better yourself. You get what you give.
Exercise a far greater influence upon
Look at
the
these
morals
niggas.
and manners.
Look at these niggas. He famous. This nigga famous. He famous. Oh, I'm loving this nigga. This nigga famous. Oh, yeah, this is what we need right here.
In the Negro community than actors and entertainers in the white community. And so these actors and entertainers were from the lowest class of the Negroes, or they were blacks that were the furthest down in the pit. And in terms of today, they would be equivalent to the blacks that are coming from the inner city projects, right? The ones who become rappers, athletes, and
Uh-oh.
Stop.
Is he spitting logic? Is he spitting knowledge right now?
entertainers. And they have much more influence on that community than what those types of people have in a community like the white community or the Indian American community or the Vietnamese American community or the Chinese American community. And they typically bring a set of values with them that keep that community going round and round in this never-ending cycle.
Bam! Bam! There we go. There it is. There it is. Right the fuck there. That's y'all. Each and every one of y'all monkey motherfuckers. That's y'all. Right there.
Hello, monkeys. Dance for us, monkey.
Lousy, no good saying, monkey. Round and round the monkey goes.
Look at these monkey ass bitches. Look at these monkey motherfuckers right here. Every single one of them. No redeeming value. You think I want to hear these whores talk to me about politics? You think I want these whores to tell me about financial stability? Educating my young?
right? And having people wondering what's wrong with those people.
But you niggas find it entertaining, don't you? Right? Each and every one, it's still a bop. Still going to listen to the beat. Still going to patronize debauchery. Bottom barrel niggas.
Right? And they're also funded by many of the white folks. And both of them together, right, they eat lunch off of that community and suck the...
Eating lunch off of your back because massa white guy who owns the studios, who owns the big music corporations, who owns the fucking football teams, run, nigga, run, boy. Chase that pigskin, nigga. The white folks that own it all are making money off your backs. All that gambling, sports betting, buying fucking entertainment from these fucking coons.
Energy all out of that community. Suck it dry, right? And they're the ones that are highly influential to the youth, right? Just as they were in the 1950s when this book was written. Let's continue. Their prestige is owing partly to the glamour of their personalities, but more especially to their financial success, which is due to their support by the white world. That's what we just talked about right here. They're funding it, and both of them together are eating off of that community, right? And it keeps that community because it keeps projecting those type of values, those type of morals in that community, and those type of deeds and actions in that community.
If you think 13% black folks only, 13% are the beehive, you are sorely mistaken. The beehive is fucking international. Fucking international. Beyonce's making her money off the backs of all of y'all. All of y'all. Bottom barrel bitch. Bottom barrel intelligence. Lowest common denominator part of the black community.
And it keeps them suppressed while groups of them keep eating and coming up.
Look at this
and
shit.
They're working together collectively, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner off of that community. And that community stays down because they don't have the right values, morals.
Black churches in collusion with politicians, entertainers, sports figures, and you fucking slaves fall for it. You fall for it.
And the right culture to climb out of it. Right? But they're working in their hand in hand. Let's continue. The black bourgeoisie is also being recruited from the successful underworld Negroes who have gained their money from gambling, prostitution, bootlegging, and the numbers, right? It's coming from all the people whose home reside.
I never knew a drug dealer, white or black, that didn't have his hands or have associates that had their hands in some human shit. Never. Fuck you niggas for keeping your mouths shut on this bullshit that's been destroying our fucking communities, destroying our fucking sons, destroying our fucking daughters. Fuck you people.
Hides down in the underworld, right? Today you can add the drug dealers to that list as well. Let's continue.
Goddamn.
The old upper class in the Negro community erected an impenetrable barrier between themselves and Negroes who represented the sporting.
But the white man brought the drugs in the community. Fuck you. I get it. You're a type 1 fucking slave. You're a descendant of fucking ignorance. I get it. You're not intelligent enough to make choices. But the choices still remain. Bitch niggas.
World. And why did they do that? So their offspring wouldn't be infected with those types of values and they wouldn't be influenced by those types of people. That's why separation is a very powerful tool when it's used for the right reason, right? It's a foolish thing to think that you can unite all people in all areas of life.
Niggas are not, we are not black people, coloreds, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. We are not a fucking monolith. I done already pissed off plenty of you motherfuckers tonight, and that's fine. Because we're not a monolith. You still gonna thought and bop. You still gonna set the destiny for your male children to be the prison. You're gonna set the prison pipeline for your sons. That's what you whores do. That's what you fucking baby mama makers do. We are not a monolith. We are not the motherfucking same.
doesn't work that way. Sometimes the best thing to do is just to separate from people, just like this older upper class of blacks did.
Facts.
Let's continue. Since such Negroes were generally able to handle more money than the majority of Negroes, with the emergence of the new black bourgeoisie, the standards of consumption, which the sporting and criminal elements are able to maintain, have become the measure of success among the black middle class. The standards which they set are emulated by Negroes in the professional classes, doctors, dentists, and lawyers, and even teachers as far as they are able to do so. But more important still, in order to secure the money necessary to maintain these standards, Negro professional men engage in the same rackets as the successful Negroes in the underworld. Consequently, among the black bourgeoisie, an expensive automobile, a palatial residence, and a yacht bring more recognition to a doctor than some achievements in medicine. And is that still true today in that community?
Absolutely.
And will it still be true?
Absolutely. Doctors are not out here being degreed researchers in the black community. We are not degreed research engineers in the black community. We are not doing the things that move our people and humanity forward at all. The closest thing to anything fucking inspirational were the two little black girls that solved the Pythagorean theorem using trigonometry. Something only one other man had done on Earth. Solve a math problem. But in practicality, for the future of the community, for the future of humanity, we still ain't doing a goddamn thing to contribute. Not a fucking thing.
True in the next 70 years. Think about it. At the summer resort where the black bourgeoisie gathered to display their wealth, the descendants of the old respectable families must defer to the underworld elements who, through their money, have risen to the top of Negro society.
Hustlers. Hustlers and scammers. Riding on a thin veil of a degree. Riding on a thin veil of success. Hustle and scam. Same as today. We love the scammers. We love to be scammed. We love the hustlers. We love the drug dealers. We love the bottom of the barrel, type 1, low mental vibe psychology. That is all the black community is about. Ain't changed in 50 years, ain't going to change in the future. He's going to talk about it, but that's why we will restore the schism and we will have black people and you niggas.
That's who has risen to the top of the black community. The lower class underworld Negroes who brought certain values with them that they inherited from the pits of slavery, right? They took over the head of the black community, and it is they who have the largest influence within that community. So I want you to think about that. Having abandoned their social heritage and being rejected by the white world, the black bourgeoisie have an intense feeling of inferiority, constantly seeking various forms of recognition and place great value upon status symbols in order to compensate for their inferiority complex.
You ain't black if you don't vote for Kamala Harris. Sound familiar? How much guilt and gaslighting and we gonna have a black female president symbolism did we suffer through for that fucking election cycle? All it was symbolism. Y'all already know where I stand on the bullshit. I didn't vote for either one of the fuckers because I was pissed. This shit. Status symbol shit. Every LGTB label motherfuck came out of the fucking woodwork for this status symbol shit.
Right? Thinking that material possessions were going to gain them some recognition in the world, and that's just not the case, right? Material things, they're just material things. And that's how we need to look at them, right? They're just material things.
Rust and dust.
And although material things do enhance our comfort in the physical world, obtaining them should...
It's rust and dust. The shit that you can't take it with you. When you die, you can't take it with you. You ever try to clean somebody's house out after they fucking died and they got a house full of shit? The fuck are we really doing with life? Wasting it on Louis bags, wasting it on reputation and getting the bag and not evolving.
Should never be placed in priority above the intangible possessions that come from within, right? Things like understanding, respect, peace, originality, integrity, sincerity, and empathy, right? And so I want you to think about this. And I want you to think about this entire lesson as you continue on your journey moving into the free world. And so I want to thank you for watching all the way into the end. My name is Brooklyn St. Michael.
Brooklyn St. Michael, man, bro. Thank you very much for this evening, for the content. Sincerely, my brother. I will be doing more reacts to Brooklyn's content. I want you to go out there and subscribe to him if you have not done so already. I think that you will find his podcasts very, very interesting, especially about the views of the world and nations, one another. Black folks, us. So go check him out. And I just want to say here, as I wrap up, first of all, shout out to everybody who stopped through this evening. Give yourselves a round of applause and a big up for certain.
Thank you, and I thank the good people of Nepal. You are one hell of a leader, because you, the keen, the cunningness, the instinct. The instinct is brilliant, and you don't even know what you did, but you're brilliant anyway, because the brilliance is the best brilliance is brilliance born not from someone ignorant.
Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Also, a big shout out to everybody and a thank you. I'm at 350 subs, 351, 352, something like that. It's been a year and a half, 2 years, going on 3 years now. Going into my third year. So things will blow up around here. Expect it. I am underground YouTube. I say what the fuck is on my mind. If you haven't already figured that out, welcome to the show. I'm not gonna mince words here. We're gonna have red light nights. We're gonna have green light nights. Maybe we'll do something a little more educational and a little less intense. Tonight was a hide your auntie, hide your uncle night. But I think we learned a bunch. I think if you paid attention, if you stuck with me and you were entertained, you probably learned a bunch, especially drawing some parallels between the way that niggas acted when they were fresh off the fucking cotton field to the way that they act today. So I definitely encourage you to go check out Team Replay, rather. Go check out the stream. Rewind me back. Sis, just seeing that. Hey, sis, how you doing? There we go. I had that switched around. All right. Yes, sis. Team Replay. And sis, I look for your yay, just got up. Good. Glad you got some rest in. I do look for your commentary. Feel free to drop your comments throughout the stream. I know that you're going to have some perspective, and believe me, this was very centered on behavior. So there are many dimensions and nuances to Black migration from slavery to integration in the cities and everything that went forward through up to the 1950s when this book was written. But yes, I look for your input on that, as I do all of my subscribers. Please leave comments, engage, let me know your thoughts, let me know of other books that you may have read, other texts or historical pieces, writings that you may have observed that also talk about the similarities between the slave mindset and the behaviors of what has become our modern day Black bourgeoisie. So I think I've made enough of a commentary for this evening. Yes, sis, it is a book, Black Bourgeoisie. I started off with a little bit of a reaction on something positive, an OG who is a Silver Fox daddy. I'm gonna be subscribing to his social media and looking at his wardrobe, because that brother is slick. He is dapper. He has got some real good style and presence as a black man in America. He's down in Texas, so check out the replay. You'll see his story. Then I went through some behavior. I went through a react with Messi Michon to show us where we are behavior-wise and perspective-wise on how we approach perceived so-called black issues in today's world, and where our hypocrisies lie. And then I broke into Brooklyn St. Michelle, St. Michelle, excuse me. I almost mispronounced the man's last name. So yes, Team Replay, like, subscribe, ring the little bell. It's right next to the subscribe button. You'll see it. Hit the little bell. You'll get a notification in your drop down in your cell phone or on your PC or laptop or whatever. Let you know that I am live. Please do so. If you are familiar with how to do it, share the stream. Share me out to all your friends and enemies and frenemies and people who you think may be haters over here. Like, dislike, I don't care. Either way, I love it. I love the engagement. Big up yourselves. Be mindful about where you are in life. Have fun in life. Enjoy life. Learn something. Expose yourself to something. Grow. Evolve. Stop being a type 1 human being. Fire, water, housing, and fucking is not everything life is. All right, y'all? Be peaceful. Peace. Big up.
Nancy feels that a newspaper, any newspaper, has the obligation to deliberately deal with those things which demand public attention. How do you feel about the controversy?
Basically, the fan behaves the same on Joe's suit. When I first turned the power on,
Nah, sis, I didn't join the panel. I just did a react to Messi's show from yesterday. I don't do panels anymore. No more panels.
The CBS Evening News with Walter Sanders.
Hit that like, y'all. Like and subscribe.
It was a provoking challenge, and nowhere did the challenge provoke more